All right, let's go. So first things first, get your condensed milk. 1 can, and then some milk. Actually, I forgot I used 2 cans. All right, 2 cans in. Let's go. 1.5 cans of the heavy whipping cream. Next, you want 7.5 cans of the whole milk. And then I like to do the heavy whipping cream first because it's thicker. And then you use the whole milk to like clean it out. No waste. Let's go. Now turn up the heat to, I like to do about medium. This way it's kind of slow. You want to slowly heat up the milk mixture. You don't want it to burn at the bottom. And you want the heat to be evenly distributed as possible. So you want to heat up this milk evenly, stir it periodically, and wait for it to get to, 180 to 190 degree. Hold that temperature for about 30 minutes, and then you turn off the heat. I'll walk you through it. All right, just keep stirring. Look at the steam. Stir more frequent as the as it gets hotter, because it's gonna burn easier. Earlier I was stirring like, I don't even know, every 5 minutes, every few minutes, something like that. Yep. And I just keep stirring. Look at that steam. As it gets more and more hot, you gotta stir more frequent. You don't want it to burn on the bottom. Yep. Gucci. All right, we're almost there. Just kidding. Not even close. 20 degrees. But take like 10 minutes, man. Shoot. All right. So the milk, the condensed milk, doesn't really matter. I got this at Costco. It was on sale. Eagle brand. It's not bad. Longevity brand is probably one of the best. I did try like cheaper brand of condensed milk, and it did come out a little weird, but also I was still experimenting at the time. And so after I perfected this recipe, I think it shouldn't matter too much, but you can try it out. Cheaper brands should have like, might not taste as good. Not sure if it's noticeable though. The milk, you can try a different one. Whole milk, 2%. I like whole milk because it's gonna be more thick. And then the whipping cream, oh yo, that's be really creamy and milky. You already know. Come on, man. This is just what I like. You just experiment, try different ones, try different things. You can omit the heavy whipping cream, do all whole milk, see how you like it. I like it thick, you already know. So another thing I want to mention is that as you boil it, also the size of your pot matters, the surface area. So the more surface area you have, the more it's going to evaporate, which is going to concentrate that milky flavor. Oh man. So if you use like, smaller surface surface area pot, and smaller circumference, I guess, then it's going to come out a little different, you know what I'm saying? So just kind of experiment, see what works and what matches your likings. Yo. All right, here we go. No worries, no worries. So it's very important that it doesn't burn, because once it burns, this whole thing's basically ruined. That's right. And by holding the temperature at 180 to 190 for 30 minutes, you're letting the proteins denature. It like unravels itself, so that way you get a nice and creamy yogurt. Yo, this might be 30 minutes. So it already spent like 20 minutes warming it up. So I just maintained this temperature for about like 10 minutes or so. and I'll turn off the heat and I'll leave it here for like about another 10 minutes or so, let it cool down, and then I'll probably take it outside because it's cooler outside. Let it cool down till like 90 to, not to like at least 110. 110 degree would be good. And then you mix it in with the yogurt. Because anything hotter than, what is it, like 115, 120 is going to destroy the bacteria in your yogurt. So I like to mix it in once this milk mixture is like 110. That's my number. Okay, so a good technique is to start with just put a little bit of liquid in here. You should probably use like a bigger spoon because it take a little bit of time. And then just start stirring it, so this way it's not going to be as lumpy. But lumps doesn't really matter, so I think I just prefer stirring, mixing stuff this way. I don't even know if this is necessary. Then just keep putting more in. Yep. And then as you add more liquid, you just go deeper. This is just the method I use when I'm like baking, you know. You don't want to add too much of the wet stuff to your dry stuff, so it incorporates better. Alright. Anyways, I'll just keep mixing. Pour it in here, and then pour it back in there. And then pour it into, or strain it, and then pour it into some mason jars. Man, look how thick this is after just one. But I'm gonna put 2 of these yogurt that I bought from Saigon Deli. So it becomes more tart quicker. Gotta incubate this for like 15 hours or so. Alright, let's see if I can set this up. Okay, so if you a pro like me, hopefully this goes well. Alright, you just go like this. Yup. There you go. Alright, now I'm setting up my sous vide. I'm gonna put this in 110 degree here. 110. I put the towel here because I'll put my mason jars on top of it. Because I have the shorter one, I need a little bit of clearance here. A little bit of, you'll see what I mean later, because the lid will be like kind of submerged under the water. So the towel will raise it up a little bit so that the lid is above the water. All right, so I strained it. Now time to pour it in here. Usually I'll have another jar, but let's just fill these up. Just have a little left here. I couldn't find any more jars, but this is fine. Actually, I just remembered. So having less is actually better, which is why I usually have an extra jar here. But it doesn't make too much of a difference. So having less would make it like more tart. At least that's what I've been told by the owner of Saigon Deli. So that's how I used to make it. I would have an extra jar. And then there'll be less. I might even put 2 extra jars next time, then there'll be even less. Just to experiment. Yeah, so I usually fill this up, so I'm missing 2 spots here. But you can see the water level. The towel helps. Just right on the lid. All right, and that's it. So this is getting up to temperature. It's gonna stop at 110. That's the target. Yep. And then you could incubate this any way you want. This is just what I have here. The balls are sous vide balls, supposed to help with like evaporation and other things. Initially I bought it to help with the water level, but that didn't really work. So now I'm just using it to prevent evaporation, too much of it. Yep. And we'll see this tomorrow. 15. I'll check on it in like 12 hours and then probably 15 to 18 hours. Check on it again and I'll update you guys. All right, it's been about 14 hours. Time for a check. Okay, 14 hours. Looking creamy. So I'm gonna taste to see the sourness. Oh. So it's still kind of soft, but it'll thicken once you put it in the fridge. Pretty tart. I'll probably leave it in for like a little longer. I'm on lunch right now, so probably like in 30 minutes, I'll start taking it out. It could be a little more sour, and also it'll ferment as it's in the fridge. Right now it's pretty not bad. It could go for a couple more hours. All right, so it's been about 45 minutes or so, and this is where I tried it earlier, and you see there's like some liquid here. That's fine, you know, it's normal. So don't be afraid. Let's give it another try. All right. It's much more tart now. I was gonna just leave it out here until I got back home from work, but I'm just gonna put it into the fridge now. So, you know, if it's not tart enough, you can just leave it out on the counter at room temperature for a little bit, and it's gonna continue to ferment. But in my case, this tastes pretty good. I'm gonna drop it into the fridge. All right, this has been in the fridge for a few hours now. Let's check out the consistency. Ooh, y'all, look at that. Oh, yes. Oh, yas. Look at this, man. So good. All right, there you have it. Smooth, creamy Vietnamese yogurt right here. Oh, that's good. Yep, that's perfect.